Welcome to Card of the Day with LadySpeech. If you're here, you're right on time. If you're seeing this message is for you. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite auntie, uncle. It's your favorite hood healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix, LadySpeech in the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world, and you're also choosing to share a little bit of time and space with me. So thank you for that. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notifications bell so you can keep up with all of my shenanigans and happenings and goings ones and things. Now, let's get into the card of the day, shall we? All right, my sugar honey dumplings, let's get into this good word for today. For today's card of the day, we're going to be working with the Hip Hop Queens Oracle deck. This is a deck that is going to be a bit familiar to some of you. You might have seen this deck as featured on some of my Sunday services, soul food and spiritual tea sessions with LadySpeech. All right. So this lovely oracle deck is what we're going to be pulling from today. And if you are interested in purchasing this deck, then head on over to Amazon and put it in your cart, or check with your local bookstores or your local occult, magic, or apothecaries, and they might have this in stock for you. All right. So for today, baby, the word of the day is change and transition. The card of the day that we are working with is Spinderella, which is all about transition. Let's talk about it. On Spinderella's road to greatness, she had to take several roles, and she transitioned until she walked into her path and purpose. A lot of us know Spinderella from the amazing and the legendary group Salt and Pepper. Now this one right here was the backbone of that group. Yes, Salt and Pepper, they were important. They were the faces, they were the front, they were the voices, but you can't do anything without the music. Spinderella, famous DJ, not only has she worked with Salt and Pepper, but she has worked with many of the old school legendary artists from back in the day. What a lot of people don't know about Spinderella is she broke off into the game as a dancer. All right. Now, if you know who this person is, you know that her walk, her path is absolutely legendary. The lesson of Spinderella, though, and the message of Spinderella, though, is that transition is oftentimes the catalyst for great progress in your life. Spinderella's in the building, and she comes to remind us that change is the name of the game. Not only is change the name of the game, change is the only consistent thing that you can absolutely bet on in life. Nothing will ever stay the same. Enjoy things as they are. Enjoy things while they last. Enjoy people, relationships, places, and things in the moment, and each and every single time you have the blessing of that experience, you have the blessing of that exchange, you have the blessing of being in the presence of that person. But baby, change is the name of the game. Some of you, this is speaking to the transition that a few of you are going to start walking in regards to your living situation. Some of you, this speaks to the transition you're already in regards to your living situation. Some of you, this transition is all about the change in relationships, from familiar relationships to romantic relationships. Some of you, this is about switching careers, switching jobs, switching majors, switching schools. Some of you, this card, this message is all about moving on, moving forward, and leaving an old situation behind. There is so much beauty in change, and yet change is hard. Some of you find yourselves at the crossroads of life, and you're being faced with walking down a path that is familiar yet unsatisfying. You're being faced with walking, you have a choice. You can either do what you've done, you can either do what you're being told to do, you can do what makes other people happy, or you can choose a different path. You can choose your own path. You can choose the path that, though it be hard in its own way, it is more fulfilling. You can choose the path of the unknown. You can choose the path where you are master of your life and creator of your destiny. Should you choose to choose either path, know that the road is going to be hard. Should you take the path of trying to reclaim an old life, should you take the path of trying to do what pleases others instead of what satisfies your soul, there will be hardship in that. Though there is an easiness that comes with that, you won't have to deal with a lot of the strife from people that you're pleasing. The hardship comes from the fact that you will be unfulfilled. Should you choose to walk the path where you create it? Should you choose to walk the path that will satisfy your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your soul? Should you choose to walk the path that is all about walking into your purpose? That too will be hard. Choosing this path doesn't mean that it is without work. Choosing that path does not mean it's without challenge. Choosing that path simply means that in the end, it's far more worth it than choosing the other path. It's time to go in a new direction. At the beginning of this Panasonic, at the beginning of this Panini, at the beginning of this Panera Bread, at the beginning of this panorama, at the beginning of this pandemic, I remember I gave 8 consecutive readings, general readings within the first couple of weeks of this. And the biggest thing that Spirit communicated through me and through a lot of other people is that change was afoot. That we were not to go back or try to reclaim a life before the pandemic. That it was time to move forward on many different levels. In regards to global warming, in regards to Earth, macro and micro levels, the biggest message was let go of the life you had and vision a new life for yourself. Vision a new way of being. Vision a new way of interacting. Vision a new way of living. Pandemics, the spiritual lesson behind pandemics is all about change. It's all about spotlighting what was not working. It's all about uncovering what can and could work. We are at a point in our lives from a macro to a micro level of great change and great transition. It is time to renew. It is time to walk forth into a new direction as a society and as individuals. The transition card speaks to just that. It's time to transition. It's time to transition from old thought processes. It's time to transition from old ways of being, old ways of interacting, old ways of connecting. It's time to transition from that old job. It's time to transition into our greatest selves. Change is absolutely, positively, 1000% scary. Change is frightening and full of the unknown. And change is also the catalyst for great things to occur. It's time to change. It's time to transition. For some of you, this transition speaks to stepping into your healing. For a lot of us, actually, this change and then this transition is about confronting our wounds at their base level and healing them from the root up. Change. It's what's for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Though change be scary, you are not alone. Remember to lean in and lean on your spiritual support system. Remember to lean in and lean on your physical support system. Remember, as you are walking towards and into this transition, that this is not your first rodeo. You ain't new to this. You true to this. This isn't the first time life has called you to change. It's not the first time that life has pushed you into a transition. Remember the fact that you made it through transition and change before, and you will make it through transition and change again. Ground yourself in your positive and healthy coping mechanisms. Ground yourself in your spiritual practice, your prayer and your meditation. Ground yourself in the morning, in the evening, every day. Go ground yourself outside. Take off your shoes. Sit on the earth. Ground yourself. Root yourself. You're going to make it through this change and this transition. And all will be well in the end. It doesn't mean you won't experience some rough patches. It doesn't mean there's not going to be a bit of turbulence. It doesn't mean that challenge isn't going to come for you. It just means that change is here. And it's trying to get you into the life that is meant for you. So lean in. Stop fighting it. Ground yourself and submit. Change is the name of the game. Change is the only consistent thing we can bet on. Change and transition. It's what's for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and beverage. And that's that on change. And that's that on transition. And that's that on the Hip Hop Queen's Oracle deck. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Thank you so very much for your support. Thank you so very much for listening to this good word. I don't know about you, but that was a reminder that I absolutely needed. So hopefully this served you in the way it was supposed to. Remember, if you're here, you're right on time. If you're seeing this message is for you. All right, my loves, I didn't want to take up all of your time. I just want to take up a little bit of your time. So on that note, I'm going to let you go and get on with your day, your evening, your month, your week, your life, your whenever. And I hope and pray you have a good one. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit the notifications bell so you can always be up on what's going down over here. So you can always be up on what's going down over here. All right, make sure you stay tuned to this channel because I've got many wonderful new announcements to share with all of you, and I cannot wait to get back to what we was doing over here, from card of the day to affirmation ASMR. Baby, I've got content for you. I've got content for you. But for now, I'm gonna let you go. You have yourself a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, a good middle of the night, a good day, a good week, a good month, a good all of that. And I will see you, God willing, in the next video. Mwah. Peace.